Danielle the Unicorn. I hope all is well. Today I am going to do a review on Ant-Man and the Wasp. It is going to be a spoiler, so if you have not watched it already, please don't watch my review any further. Go watch it and then come back and watch me. So, you know how I do my ratings, scale of 1 to 10. Why? 1 is why you were created. 2 a 10, I like it, I love it, I want more of it. So with Ant-Man and the Wasp, I give it a 7.5. And I'm going to give my reasons why. So, like any movie that had a first movie to it, will always be the best movie. So when it came to the first Ant-Man, I gave that a 9. And with this one, it's a 7.5. My reasoning is because I thought it was safe. I wish it had a lot more to it. Like, just tweak it a little. Because it had a lot going on in there. I just wish it was tweaked for it to be better. The only reason I give this movie a 7.5, surprisingly, and I'm weird about certain characters. I'm supposed to like the main characters, like love them. But in this case, I fell in love with Michelle Pfeiffer. Why? I don't know. But I know that she was all like in that other, you know, quantum molecular world or whatever. But I guess it was just a breath of fresh air to, you know, have a new character in this movie. So I really appreciated Michelle Pfeiffer. Like, I don't know, I'm sorry I can like just talk about her this whole review, but I'm not. But she was probably my favorite character in this whole movie. But I really enjoyed her because she, you know, she was a mom and she was really trying to get back home, and she sacrificed herself, you know, when her husband was trying to save the world in the past and everything. And I don't know, like, I just like that about her. So that's why I give this movie a 7.5. I would have gave it a 7, but with her in it, I gave it a 7.5. You have Hank Pym and his daughter Hope, played by Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly. I like them in here. You know, it's just the same as it was in the first Ant-Man, them on a mission to do something, and in this mission is to get the wife and mom or whatever back from out of that other quantum molecular world. I wish that the Wasp had a lot more time, more screen time, or just tweaked her time of her fighting skills. I know that she could fight better than what she was doing in there, like, honestly. I think that if her and freaking Scarlett Johansson or whatever, if they were to get in a fight, I think it would be a tie, because I think Scarlett Johansson is a good fighter, like in the other Marvel movies. But yeah, I just wish she was like on that level of fighting like Scarlett Johansson, but I felt like she wasn't. And yeah, and then Hank, you know, he's just old and he's just want his wife back, and he's just super smart. So I don't know what else to say about them too. Let's talk about Paul Rudd, Ant-Man himself. I've always liked him. When I seen him in the first Ant-Man, I guess it was just like, I would never have thought that Paul Rudd would be in a Marvel series. So to see him in a Marvel movie, it was nice. And that's how I fell in love with the first Ant-Man. And, you know, he still did good in this Ant-Man. But, you know, in this one, he's on house arrest or probation or something, and you know, he's just like, his whole thing is like, I have to go home. Like, that is his whole thing. I need to go home so I can get this ankle bracelet off me, or they're gonna send me back to jail. and like everyone else around him is just like, oh no bro, like it's cool, like if you help us out with this, you'll be home in no time and you don't have to go to jail and stuff. So like that was like his own little mission when Hank Pym and Hope was just, they took him out the house and they just want to get this piece of equipment, and he's just like, I need to go home. And I love the bond between him and his daughter. I love that she wants to be around her father. And it's cool because nowadays you see kids just always like on their phone and a computer, just about technology, and not necessarily focused on their parents and wanting to create a bond with them. So I felt that that was nice, that she still wanted to be around her father and stuff like that versus being on a cell phone. And like she did use a cell phone, but I just felt like it was like an adult using the cell phone, because you know how our parents, like they don't know really how to use the phone, and she's still learning how to use a phone. But you know, I just really like that about their relationship, that she is a kid and she is not about that technology, and she wants her daddy around. And hopefully when she grows up, you know, she can be a superhero too. I don't really read much of the Marvel universe, but I don't know if she's a superhero like when she gets older, but that would be pretty cool. So I like their relationship, Paul Rudd and his daughter. His ex-wife and her boyfriend, they're just weird. I guess it was supposed to be funny all the time when the ex-wife's husband or whatever always hugged, because they all hugged all the time. But I guess that was supposed to be funny. But yes, I like Paul Rudd and his daughter's relationship. It's good. There was supposed to be a villain in here. The mixed looking girl named Ava, that she had molecular deficiency for her to look like a ghost. She was just weird. She was super weird. She creeped me out, and not in a good way. There was just some scenes that she just looked like she was spaced out, and I'm like, what is wrong with her? And they could have did so much with her character. I think her fighting was very basic. Like, it would have been cool if she would have shrunk too like them. Like, that would be awesome. But no, she was just like always sick and always saying her body hurts, and I don't want to hear that. I just wish they just would have did better with her. Her suit was pretty cool, but I don't know. I guess the suit was useless because she was still in pain and it wasn't helping her control her powers or whatever it was. But yeah, I didn't care for this girl if she was supposed to be the villain. I felt bad. But what happened to her, she could have just did better, a whole lot better. Like, I know she was like, yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D., they use me for their purposes or whatever, but I just felt like, well, is this all you can do? Like, I just didn't think it was cool enough. I've seen better supervillains or whatever, and she just doesn't make the cut to me. Lawrence Fishburne in here, that was supposed to be good friends with Hank Pym back in the day, but then they argued and went separate ways. I felt like their bickering and arguing was not necessary at all. Like, I just felt like it was dumb. I just feel that Lawrence Fishburne and Hank Pym should have put their differences aside. Like, it just wasn't necessary for them to just keep arguing and stuff like that. Like, if Hank and Lawrence was like, we can cure this girl, Ava or whatever, let's do it. And then we can talk about whatever happened in the past later on. So that was like the only thing that like bothered me about Lawrence Fishburne and the whole thing with Hank Pym and him and their friendship in the past. So is it Louise or Lewis? Louise. And he's funny as always. You know, it was funny in the first movie how he did like his little story thing and you know, it had his voice, but the characters talk it and stuff like that. They did it again in this movie. Um, it was funny, but it was a bit much. You can tell that it was like, okay, people like that, so we're going to do it in here and do it even more. So I just felt like it was a bit much. But once again, he was funny. Him and his two co-workers, T.I. and the other one with the accent. They're just like, I don't know, they just remind me of like the Three Stooges or something like that. But it works for them, you know. So that's all I basically have to say. Oh, okay. Randall Park, the detective cop that always wanted to catch Paul Rudd like doing something. I felt like his thing, like his character was weak. Like, I didn't like him at all. I like him as an actor, so I was super happy to see him. Don't get me wrong, but what he had to work with was pretty weak. I didn't like it at all. I think they should have chose a different actor for that part. But yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, spoiler. At the end, like, I feel so bad for Ant-Man. Like, that is crazy that he is like stuck in that freaking place and everyone else turned to dust. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just crazy. I can imagine how he's feeling. He's like, come on, bring me back. No, they can't even come back themselves. So I wonder how long he's going to be staying in that molecular quantum world thing. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm excited. Like, I'm excited to see the next like Infinity War movie. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. And that is my review for Ant-Man and the Wasp. So if you like my review, hit the like button, subscribe to me if you haven't, leave a comment below if you disagreed with me or agreed or have more to say. Please leave that below, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all later. Bye.